Right.
No, that's good. The question's
All right. So the next thing is the human resource responsibilities and strategies. So just so you know, that we've got 5 people in our group, and we didn't want to like overcrowd and bring everyone here, so we just thought 2 people would be adequate enough.
Cool.
Everyone picked their own, did their own topic. So I'm just asking these questions on behalf of the group members. So the first question that they've got is, what are the roles and responsibilities as human resource manager of Retail Zoo?
They're pretty diverse here. So as I said, I've got HR, L&D and marketing, design, and digital. If I had to define the roles and responsibilities, so obviously one of the most important is your team management. So having a great team under you to deliver on all the responsibilities you have, the accountabilities you have.
Yep.
The best thing you can do always is recruit really well, manage people's performance. If they're not the right people, help them to either try to be good at the role they're in or find another role. Okay. And that's a real skill you get over time to help do that respectfully. And I've had to do that in the time I've been here. But once they're all right positions, right structure, right skill sets, tend to make you look really good quite quickly.
Yeah.
But we've of course got things like within HR recruitment. So when I joined, everyone was a generalist, and I've tried to bring in more specialisations. We go from small business to bigger, medium business. So we now have a recruitment manager. I brought payroll in-house. They're the 2 core functions you get. HR operations, so dealing with all the store-based issues, which we get a lot of. Particularly through our partner network. So boosties or their parents, someone's ringing to say my daughter hasn't been paid recently or paid wrong or isn't getting laundry allowance, looking into all those sorts of things. Okay. So dispute resolution essentially is what that is. We work really closely with the Fair Work Ombudsman and have developed an amazing relationship with them. And that's probably one of the biggest strengths of our department. And then you look at things like overall room and ban on top of payroll, so what bonus structures, those sorts of things you put in place. Occupational health and safety, of course, is really important to us, but again, we've got really good systems and procedures in place, so it's not something we look at a lot, and we don't have many injuries. We've also got a young workforce, depending on the business you're in. If you've got an older demographic, they're more prone to injury. Okay. We're really lucky. Our guys are strong, resilient, they bounce. They don't take much time to get over anything they might pick up.
Just on a bit of like a more recent note, so with that frozen fruit incident, did that affect you guys in any way? Did you get the fruit from, I don't even know who it was. Yeah, Nana's.
I got my smoothie fruit.
No, but of course it did. So
people had that.
So because that kind of relates to that. Absolutely. So like risk management and stuff. Did you have a part in like assuring everyone that you didn't have anything, you don't have like the fruit and Boost is still fine to drink?
So look, from an HR perspective, no, not much. All right, I'm part of the leadership group, so we made decisions as a team.
Okay.
But for us, what it really did, when you talk about your logistics and supply chain, what it did really show quite quickly is that we had some great systems in place there, but we knew very quickly that our fruit didn't come from where Nana's Berries sourced their fruit, even though it's from the same country. Yep. We have separate processing plants, we have separate batches, we have separate quality control. Every parcel of our fruit is tested for all these things. Okay. Yep. But then making sure that our PR team, or PR person, and customer service were fully briefed. And then our training team, this is where it does come in, we're rolling out modules quite quickly to get to all of our boosties. So when you walk up and go, I'm not having the berry crush because that might have that. It's like, no, let me tell you, our fruit comes from this. We can tell you this with absolute certainty for these reasons. We know it's safe and it's certified, right? So straight away, giving our customers confidence and giving our customers the opportunity to ask those questions, making sure our boosties were trained and informed so they can give useful and truthful responses to help make people feel fine.
Oh, great. Yeah. So you kind of like just attack that straight away.
Yeah. So as soon as you see that in the press, you go, man, this could hurt us. First of all, let's do our due diligence and make sure we are safe. Because if we're not, know they're safe and feel comfortable.
And so has anything else like that happened to any of the 4 brands since Retail Zoo's been in control of them? Or is that pretty much like the biggest scare that you've had?
It's probably the biggest we've had. We've had minor incidents along the way. We've had some bad press occasionally from poor boosty behaviour. How you deal with those things again is try to be upfront, truthful, honest, and find out the real facts as quick as you can.
Yeah. All right. So just moving on. How human resource manager allocated? So how do you allocate the people you hire to their work positions, or is it just because you said before that you hire people and instead of like kind of getting rid of them, you move them to different positions? Is that right?
I don't know if I quite said that, but we can, if we've got someone who's not performing and they're not in the right role, absolutely give them a chance to be great in a different role.
Okay.
That's a conversation we want to have fairly early. We're not, when we talk about the roles we have out in the stores, there's not a lot of options.
Okay.
So you're a team member, you're a team leader, you're an assistant manager, or a business manager.
Okay.
That's kind of it.
And so, do you help with the employment of people for Chibo and all the other brands, or do you kind of just make the processes and pass it down to the human resource manager of that brand?
No, there's no human resource managers
Just
of that brand.
a
There's me and two HR ops people, my recruitment manager, my payroll manager, and my training team.
So you single-handedly do the human resource management for all 4 of the brands? Okay.
And retail zoo, corporate, yeah.
5. And so do you go along to like the group interviews and things like that, or how do you hire the new people?
Yeah, my HR advisor will go to some of those. So we have auditions for boosties at peak times of the year, and we know coming up to Christmas, for instance, so around October we do that. We have a lot of ongoing everyday hire that we churn through. So my HR coordinator works on the store-based roles, HR advisor helps a bit, my recruitment manager works on all the support centre and senior roles, and I support her around those with interviews and selection, those sorts of things.
And for Salsas and Chibo and Hatch, do they have the same kind of recruitment method of it's like a big group interviews?
No, we don't. Don't have the same volume because again, it's only our actual company stores that we're recruiting for.
Okay.
We will sometimes run auditions for partners on their behalf. So if the Adelaide Boost partners said we're going to need 50 people between these 4 stores coming to Christmas, we'll help support them and do that. But no, it's all individual recruitment.
So how does like the recruitment for Salsas work then? Who actually hires those staff members?
Yeah, so the actual team members or the equivalent of boosties are hired by the business managers or their managers, the sort of the field ops managers. But assistant managers and business managers, store managers, we hire from here. So we run the process in conjunction with the operations team and make those selections.
Okay.
And there's nothing magic to it. You stick a seek ad up, you see what response you get. You try and work your networks. We try to use more social media. We have a little bit of success with that, but it's really just letting people know we're hiring. Okay.
What are your strategies to motivate your employees to work harder?
So again, we've got a kind of 3-tiered, there's no one size fits all for that. So we've got our support centre employees, we've got our store employees, and then we've got our partners employees. So if I had to give you a generic answer across 4 brands and sports centre across all those levels, make it fun, give them the opportunity to develop, train them, develop them, support them, then you'll get the most out of your people. People want to get better at what they do every day. Even at store, if you can work faster, get more attention and get rewarded or recognised for it, you're happy, right? You want to know that what you're doing actually means something. So, all of our stores are important, and how they understand our overall company culture, our goals, why you work for us, whether it's because you think Janine's amazing, whether it's because you think that we're supplying a healthy alternative for people out there while they're in shopping centres, whatever it is of those elements, if you can identify with that and walk away feeling good at the end of the day, so you've done a job that you think is meaningful, if we can give them all of that and communicate that and make sure it's re-communicated and reinforced, then I think that's probably the best answer I can give you on that.
No, fair enough. Strategies.
So the last one for this HR responsibilities is, what are the strategies when the external factors, for example, economic or demographic changes, affect the business?
It's like what we discussed earlier about the for example, the frozen fruit.
Yeah.
So
Again,
that makes sense.
again, for instance, if that impacted us so much that sales downturned horribly, then there'd be some sort of cutbacks in terms of the hours people do. So the good thing is we have most of our boosties and our team members on part-time contracts, so we can upscale and downscale without having to actually get rid of anybody. I don't think we've ever had to do that, certainly not in my time, but we do have obviously peak periods. So, Christmas is crazy for us. Summer, our sales from Boost go, if that's the temperature graph, sales go with it.
Okay.
Right? So certain times of year are great for us. Yeah.
And
Does that answer that question?
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
Yeah,
No, it
so-
makes sense. It's
yeah.
how you deal with it. Is what you said. Yep.
So you kind of like you foresee what's going to happen, and then you kind of just get everyone on, like give everyone like prior knowledge of what's about to happen, and then you just go and just spread the word out. It's just like with the frozen fruit.
It's your workforce planning.
Yeah.
That's
it's
a
making
that's
sure
a
you're
perfect
scalable.
example for that last question. So yeah, I think that's